the bench unit struggled compared to their bench?
Well, they didn't struggle. They didn't get a lot of shots, in their defense. I think during that stretch, it was more James, than them. So, it's just a tough night.
The highest level.
James, you said the ball didn't get to you. Does the coach call plays to try to get the ball to you?
Next question.
Doc putting too much blame on Harden. Jordan, I'll start with you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is all on James Harden. Because how do you judge stars in the NBA? Postseason and closing time, fourth quarters. The last 6 fourth quarters for James Harden, these numbers are not suitable for work. They're absolutely awful. He's 4 of 19.
Guys, I'm told that James Harden is seriously considering a return to Houston in free agency this July if he does not, if he decides against coming back to Philly on a new deal. And this would be certainly a remarkable turn of events given it was less than 2 years ago that he asked out of Houston, went to Brooklyn, and then to Philadelphia. But there's been something of a magnetic pull with him in Houston. Houston is flush with salary cap space, a very young rebuilding team.
Well, Doc Rivers did it again. He pissed off yet another player to the point that he wants out. In a previous video on the channel, I discussed why Doc Rivers is one of the worst coaches of all time. The reason for this is because he is not a leader in the slightest. Instead, Doc Rivers is the first to point fingers when things don't go his way. This is also what led to Ben Simmons leaving and now issues with Harden. Last season, the 76ers fell to the Heat and the media diverted the attention and failure of expectations to James Harden. But more importantly than the media, Doc also diverted all criticism to Harden. Obviously, this is less than ideal and doesn't build a great relationship between the two. Ironically, however, in a practice clip, Doc asked Harden to be a leader on the team because he's a veteran player. Yet, Harden knows he can't ask the same. Doc Rivers is incapable of being a leader and works for his own personal interests, using his players as a shield. This causes turmoil and teams to crumble under his lead. Too many people build disdain for him and want to leave. I don't want to repeat everything I said in my past video, which is why this video is a little shorter, so I'll go ahead and leave a link to that. With all that being said though, do I think Harden will go to Houston? No. As much as Harden may like or dislike Doc Rivers as a coach without publicly stating either side, Harden knows he's starting to have success with the 76ers, scoring 20 plus points a night and being the first 76er since Wilt to have 21 assists in a game with the duo of Joel Embiid. I think Harden will want to see things through with the 76ers and see how far they go, but that's also highly dependent on how far the 76ers go this postseason in their success, and if it's enough success for him to stay. On the opposite side of things, there is a low possibility Houston will even accept Harden back. While Harden is largely looked up to in Houston for his playing ability and the things that he's accomplished, he left Houston on bad terms with all of his over 18 fun, and basically ditching them, never going to practice. It is highly unlikely that Houston is willing to overlook all of that to have Harden back on the roster. Also, the Rockets are in a position right now where they don't want Harden with the way the team is set up. The Rockets are a very young core going through the process of rebuilding and developing new players. To reintroduce a veteran would completely throw off the plans that are undergoing and set in motion. So despite Harden making claims that he might want to go back to Houston, I predict the feeling is mutual that he won't go back. Despite this, the point still stands that Doc Rivers continues to degrade his relationships with players, and every superstar that works under him reports negatively on him. How well the 76ers do will greatly impact what Harden decides to do. But I think there's no need to make big claims on him being on another team anytime soon. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Please like, subscribe, share the video around if you enjoyed. All that cliche YouTuber stuff, as it really does help me out, and I'm still trying to hit 500 subs.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.